What is sweeter than a baby shadow box card? Isn't that adorable? There's so many different fun things you can do with these shadow boxes too, so I'll walk you through some of my ideas. We're going to be using several dies and products here. First up is the Stork and Baby from the New Arrival collection. The Little Treasures. Going to use the little Ducky from there. This is the New Arrival shadow box. There's so many fun things in here you can use. A little bit of an accent with the stitched doodle flowers. And I'm going to be creating a frame with the Scalloped Lattice Frame Set B. And mounting foam, as always. I like to use that to get some dimension to my cards, and this is helpful for adding the little bits into the shadow boxes. And the piercing ruler, which I tend to use most times around the edges of my card too. Okay. Now, I've gone ahead and I've cut the shadow box already out of some blush card. It is a little bit interesting to note that this particular shadow box, I've decided to put the cutting edges onto the die. So you will always get the boxes cut out every time. I thought that with the other shadow boxes, having them separate and having this one on there, it would just give you a few more options. And this has a really pretty little detail around each of those boxes as well. Okay, so what I do want to show you is the frame. So I'm going to bring in the Scalloped Lattice frames here, and we are going to be using the two smallest sizes. Let me just tidy this off a little bit. There we go, we can pop that right into place. A little bit of tape. Make sure they don't overlap, that's important. And get them nice and centered across the top there. Just going to put a little bit on the inside here as well. Pop that on. And the other thing is, because that's got quite a big bite there to go into the machine, if you just tip it a little bit at an angle, it does make it easier to go through. Okay. Undo all of this, save our tape for later usage, and we can even use this inside piece for a matte and layer for something else later on. Put them back onto our magnetic sheet. So now I've got a really nice little frame cut. So I've got one I've done earlier, and let's just bring that in. A little bit of mounting foam on the back, and we're going to add it onto the edge of the shadow box card. So we'll have a really pretty pastel pink base with a little white thin frame that goes right around the edge of it. Get it centered. That looks pretty good. And the nice thing about the shadow box is there is no outside cutting edge on it, so you can do whatever size you like. I'll go ahead and give you the dimensions that I used on the actual shadow box part. It is 5 1/8 by 6 1/4. So it does give you a little bit of a blush edge coming through. Okay, so next thing I want to show you is some of the features of the pieces that are in the shadow box. I'm going to use the little baby blocks here. And although I know you can repeat the bee, I think it's easier to have one for every little cubby, and you can put them all together in one throw. So let's pop one of these onto each of them. So I've just picked out some pastel colors here, and we'll do a little taping just to make sure they stay in place. And one more. And I'll tell you the other thing I'd like to cut is the Ducky that is on the Little Treasures, and it's hiding underneath there. There we go. Get one of those cut for us, so we can load up our cutting plate with little guys there. Okay. Okay. Pop them off there. Okay. Now one of the things that I think is a little bit easier when you have small items like this is, rather than embossing it with the embossing mat, let's bring that back around. pop that into place. So I find you get a nicer emboss if you just go through and do it with a little bit of a stylus around the edge. Give it a real nice press and you get some of that detail coming out. This little ducky's got a really nice little eye there, his beak, his little wing. Let's bring this one over. We can do all of our blocks. There we go. And let's see, this is the A. So find the edge of the A, there we go. We can go ahead and give that a little emboss with our stylus. Now, I'm not going to do all of them because I've got others already finished, but what I want to show is a couple of these. And I'm just going to highlight them. In fact, let's use one of the darker colors. Let's go ahead and use the B. We'll go around, give that a little bit of the edging. We'll show you what you can do with this. Okay. Same thing with our little ducky. There we go. Pop that over there. Using a little white pencil, I can add some highlights to those letters. I could even use the same color and bring that detail out a little bit more. I could ink through it, whatever you like to do to bring out the letters. I'm just doing everything kind of a pastel color. So what I've done is gone through with just a pencil and highlighted. Really nice little technique you can do to add a soft color to your card. So I'm going to go ahead and add in my letters. I've got a B cut out of Wisteria card. I'm going to pop that into the top here. The A has been cut out of Custard card. There. The other B has been cut out of Sky Blue card. And the Y has been done with Aqua card. So I'm going to go ahead and pop those into the top of those squares in my shadow box. So the next thing I want to do is add in the duckies. Now I've gone ahead and done 3 ducks in a row because I thought that was quite cute. I've added a little bit of mounting foam. So I'm going to pop that in that little box. Little teeny bit on both his body and his head there. And I think I'll put this one on this side and let's leave a little space in the middle for that last one. There we go. And you may have to just adjust a little bit depending on how your spacing is. That's not too bad. There we go. And the bottom section, I've used the, out of the new arrival shadow box, I've just used the little safety pin. So I've got 3 of those done. I've picked out the same sort of color scheme, 1 in Wisteria, 1 in Sky Blue, and 1 in Aqua. I'm going to pop those in, and I think they're cute if you just put them in at a little bit of an angle. Just have a little bit of mounting foam on the tops of the heads of the straight pins, very small. I would probably use a bit of glue on top of this if I was posting it out, just to make sure it's nice and secure. There we go. The last one there. A little bit of blue. Okay, now the last section here is for my stork. So what I want to do is show you something fun you can do with the stork. So I'm going to go ahead and cut one of these out of white card. And there we go. Okay. Take my stork apart there. Going to, let's clear a little space here. Go back, do a bit of embossing using the stylus tool, get its wings. You can also do the beak, the feet, whatever. I'm going to bring this out and show you a little trick. I've already got one cut and I've added his little hat to it, which is also part of the same set. And I'm going to just highlight the wings with a blue pencil right across the top here and on the original. Just gives it a little bit more definition like that. You can even put a little bit of highlight on his body if you like, and on his neck, a little bit on his eyes, on his legs there. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to nip off the wing part here. Pop that onto a little bit of glue in the back. Let's get a hold of that. I'm going to bring it up just ever so slightly, so it looks like you have two of them showing. And we'll add a bit of mounting foam to the back of him. Pop that right over that. Set him into this last little box, and I'm just going to offset him a little bit to the edge on the left. He has a bundle of joy, obviously. Added the little heart done in white. You have a separate die there. You can use both. And we are going to add a tiny bit of glue there. Pop that right onto his beak, ever so cute. And then you can form these little wings so you look like you have a bit more dimension to it, which I think is quite cute. And we're going to finish off the card with just an accent. I've gone ahead and done a stitched doodle flower with all the colors that I've used and a couple of green leaves. Some mounting foam, and we're going to mount that right off that edge there, and that's why I've offset him ever so slightly. So you have a really, really sweet card when you're finished, and there's just so many different fun things you can do with all the little pieces. Hope you've enjoyed today's video, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel.